Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know, my name is Sarah. I am the owner of Denim Rain. I am an artist and I make knitting notions, etc. You can find all the links down below and make sure you hit that like and subscribe for any future videos. I have a projects video today and I don't have a ton of finished things. I was hoping to maybe have all the knitting time in the world. However, I decided to tear apart my house and redo my kiddos' rooms. So yeah. Okay, I do have the one finished knitting thing that I'll show you in a second. But I also have a sewing thing that I finished. I sewed this shirt, which I'm kind of calling a shacket because it is gigantic. I've never sewn a shirt like this before. I have sewn in the past when I was younger. I've done a couple of dresses and they were not cute. Mainly the fabric's fault. It's fine, it was a very ugly fabric. It was a product of its time. I've never sewn anything like this before. I've done project bags, etc. But there's a lot of beginner patterns out there, but they're not styles that I would wear. I just wouldn't wear those boxy linen tops. They look cute on other people, but I would never wear that. Just not something I feel confident in. So, but I love flannel shirts. They're my favorite thing to wear. So I went on Joann's website and they had this brushed cotton on sale. It was a really good price, so I bought a couple of yards of that and I made the Purl shirt. I am drawing a blank on the designer's name, but I will put it down in the description. I will say I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's not an enormous size range. I think it only goes up to extra large. I don't know what bust size that is because it has I think it was 20 inches of positive ease in this shirt. It's, like I said, it's more of a shacket than a shirt. I did sew the second size, but I think if I were to make it again, I would sew size 1 and maybe even inch it in a few places, maybe have a larger seam allowance or something. I don't know, but it's a little bit big. It's also, I feel maybe feels a little bigger because it's a thicker flannel fabric, so it just feels like there's a lot of fabric. But overall, I feel like it did a pretty okay job for my first time sewing something like this. It doesn't have buttons or buttonholes yet. I have to order one of the buttonhole foots for my sewing machine. I don't have that, and I just haven't gotten around to buying that. Is what it is. But I've been wearing it a ton with all the buttons, so, but I would like to put buttons on it before fall comes around because I do feel like I would wear this a lot in the fall. So yeah, I sewed a shirt, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited about it. I have one finished thing. Not a lot. I have one. I have a pair of socks. I only have one on a blocker. Here's the other one. See, it is finished. And here's the other one. This is just a vanilla sock. This is, oh boy, Bigfoot Yarn Co. And then this rusty color is Stress Knits, and all of it is a merino nylon. This base is a merino nylon cashmere. Also, this white is not white, it's a natural color. It is just an undyed wool. So yeah, I've worn these and they fit nicely. Not amazing, but they fit nicely. End of last year, realized I needed to change my stitch count from the 64 stitch count to the 72. Very happy I've done that. My socks are starting to fit better, and then I also have given the Shadow Wrap heel a chance, and I do like it. I do feel like it is a little bit snug, so I think it was Laura Penrose who has done the Shadow Wrap heel, but she had talked about how she increases before the heel and then decreases after the heel. So I think I'm gonna try that, which will lead us into works in progress, which would be my next pair of socks. So I actually, for this pair, have cast on 72 stitches, did the cuff in 72 stitch count, And then I increased up to an 80 stitch count because I want some slouchy socks. So that means a lot more knitting. So these socks are taking me a while. Hold on, let me gather. 2 socks going so far. This one's leg is almost done. I have moved it to at-home knitting for now because there's not enough for me to really do out and about before I need to start the heel. So this is now my out and about knitting. I am thinking I'm gonna put like maybe 1/2 inch more on this. I've been weighing my yarn to see how far I can get with it. And then what I'm gonna do is keep the 80 stitches, knit the shadow wrap heel, and then decrease down to 72 stitches for the foot. And we'll see how that works out. But I'm excited for some slouchy socks. I tried the leg on and like kind of bunched up, and it was really cute. So I'm excited about it. But like I said, it's 80 stitches and I'm going for a longer tube, so it's taking a minute for these socks, but that's okay. I'm excited about them. I am knitting this out of Malabrigo. I lie. I'm knitting this out of Magpie. It is Swanky Sock. It is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And the color is Creepin' It Real. This I got, I think, for a yarn swap. So yeah, I really like it. And then the Off-White is a commercial yarn. I don't remember what. I bought it in a D-stash. And then this little yellow strip there is Coats & Co. And yeah, it's a really nice yellow. It's not quite neon. It's more of a like muted neon, which is really nice. But I posted these socks in my stories. I was taking a walk and I had them. I was knitting and walking. And somebody commented saying that it looked like a bald eagle with the brown, the white, and the yellow. I didn't see it. Now I can't unsee it. So now you can see it too. It's kind of funny. I don't mind it. I don't like think, ew, bald eagle. God. I think like it's kind of funny. Like they still just look like brown socks to me. But the color palette's kind of funny. Now I'm going to think of them as my bald eagle socks, which is fine. We live right next to a lake. I mean, a couple of streets down. We can see a little bit of it in winter when the trees lose their leaves. But it has a pair of bald eagles there. So yeah, my bald eagle socks. All right, where should we go next? Let's go with my white sweater. Oh, living with my white sweater is some of my a crochet circle from my limonada. I made it part way around. I have not made any headway on my limonada, so I won't show it today. But I'm still at that same place I was in my last projects video. I have crocheted like 5 or 6 circles, not a bunch, because I've been working on other things and like I said, haven't had the energy to really knit and crochet. But I have worked on this a decent amount because it's stockinette in the round. So this has been a lovely project to work on. This is my cotton sweater. This is being knit out of Drops Safran. It's 100% cotton. And I'm just knitting a basic raglan, not following any pattern. It has a nice amount of short row shaping. I'm about maybe an inch into the body. It is like a, so when I ordered it from Wool Warehouse and they have it listed as a 4-ply, which is like British 4 and like, I guess more European, not just British, but like 4-ply is fingering. But then the ball band says sport, or maybe I'm just making that up. Somewhere else it said sport. Somewhere I read it said sport. I would say it's a heavy fingering sport. It's not quite, I don't know, maybe it's sport. I would just say heavy fingering or sport. And then I'm knitting on 3.75 millimeter needles. And it's not super loose, but it's not a tight gauge either. It's like just, yeah, it has some breathing room to it, but it's not like open, which I feel like for cotton, I don't want a super open gauge because the stitches with cotton tends to look a little messy if it's too loose of a gauge. So I feel like if I could not knit this at any looser of a gauge because otherwise it wouldn't look very nice. So yeah. And then I am going to get a little bit of the elastic thread. The collar already kind of seems like it just sticks out a little bit. I want it to kind of lean back a little. So I'm just going to get a little elastic thread, just kind of weave its way through there so it doesn't stretch out anymore. And then the cuffs and the hem will have a twisted rib for those. But yeah, I plan on taking this with me to on our vacation, probably, yeah, because I feel like this would be really good car knitting because it's a decent drive we have. And though I rotate driving with my husband, I still get a lot of knitting time in. So I plan on taking that with me. He's living in this like vinyl bag that I got from the Red Pansy. She did not make this. It's like something she stocks in her shop, but it's a really pretty fun, like retro flower and squiggly design. I really like it. I like the vinyl bags because I can see what is in there, and yeah, I don't have to worry about cleaning them. Really like it. And then the next sweater I have been working on is my Alvar by Sari, Nordlund. I am knitting this out of Drops Cotton Light, which is a cotton and polyester blend yarn. Here it is. I am close to being finished with the texture stitch on the body. I just wrapped up this diagonal texture pattern, and then I will be repeating this checkered like texture, and then I will start the hem and then hopefully get on to the sleeves. It is kind of slow going. I was hoping to be a little bit further along, like maybe on the sleeves by now, because I kind of would like to have this to wear on our vacation, which is in, oh boy, 2.5 weeks ish, something like that. So it's coming up. Realistically, if I wasn't so busy and could just knit, I could finish this in 2.5 weeks, no problem, because it's just like a little bit more on the body and sleeves and a neckline, right? But it is a texture, and I do have to pay attention quite a bit to this particular stitch. For some reason, it just doesn't like, me and my brain we're not meshing with this particular texture stitch. If I had known this going in, I may have like changed the texture stitch to something else, but I didn't know that going in, so here's what it is. It's fine. It looks nice, but I don't enjoy knitting that particular stitch. But yeah, I am loving this so far. I would like to have it done, but we'll see. If I don't get it done, I'll probably take this as well to maybe hopefully wrap up while we're on our trip so I can wear it. If not, well, you know, sweaters are just, it's taking me a lot longer to knit than I feel like it used to, but that's okay. It's not a race. I'm not in any hurry. I mean, I'd like to have these things, but again, I'm not in a hurry. I would also like to mention that I will be starting a knit along for knitting fall and winter garments in summer. This knit along will primarily be happening, or it will be happening, on Instagram, and then I'll of course chat about it here and such, and you're welcome to chat about all the things down in the comments. Chatter is always lots of fun, but I'm not a Ravelry user. I use it to browse patterns, and that's about it. Hosting something like that on Ravelry, it will get lost and forgotten. I once did try to do a knit along on Ravelry. Guess what? I completely forgot about it. If it does on Instagram though, I'll remember. So it is going to be hashtag summer, no, it will be hashtag sweaters in summer Cal. It is not limited to sweaters though. You can knit anything that is for fall and winter, any garment that is for fall and winter. So like if it's like a vest or a pullover thing that I can never remember the name of, one of those, sweatpants, you name it, if it's a garment and it's for fall and winter, it is very much welcome to be joined into the knit along. And it is not just knitting either. If you crochet as much as you like. There will be prizes. As of right now, I'm thinking it'll mainly be like stitch markers or something like that. If anybody who may dye yarn or anything like that, if there's any sort of prize you would like to gift for that, let me know. You can send me an email at denimandrain@gmail.com. But as of right now, I'm thinking some stitch markers and a few other little oddball notions will be the prize. It will be going through the end of summer, so the start of fall, which is, I don't know why that date has escaped me, October 20th, one of those. That will be the end of the knit along, and then I will select winners at that point in time. WIPs are more than welcome to be joined. Basically whatever, just any fiber, any pattern, just join the knit along. Anyhow, back to the projects. Okay, I have another crochet project. If you watched my summer knitting plans video, I had this, oh shoot, I'm ripping things out. I had this Lion brand Truboo, which is a bamboo yarn. I had mentioned I wanted to make a home camisole out of that, but then I started crocheting something with it and got excited about it, and here we are. I am crocheting something instead of knitting. I am crocheting a tank top. So I actually used my home camisole as a template. This is not following any pattern. I found a stitch that I liked and we're just going for it. I laid out my home camisole and I laid it out on there, and I followed the triangles, like the shape of them, and created crochet triangles. And yeah, and then the back though is not just triangles, it's like smaller triangles and then has a wider lower back to it, which I really like. I'm further along on the back side. I am not knitting, oh my goodness. I am crocheting it flat, and then what I'm gonna do is join it with maybe a single crochet panel or some sort of simple stitch panel going down this side. I'm not sure if I'm going to join as I go. I'm not sure I'll be able to get that clean enough, so I may just crochet a couple of panels and then seam them together. I think that's probably what I'll do. I feel like that'll look a lot nicer. But yeah, I'm super excited about this, and it is crochet, so it is flying. I haven't put a ton of work on this, but it feels like I'm making good progress. I'm using for this a 4mm or a G crochet hook. It is my Purl's crochet hook. I have a couple of these. This one is my favorite though. I forget what, it's like mocha or something like that is the color. I don't remember exactly, but I love the feel of the Purl's, especially for such a teeny little thing. If I had to grip that teeny skinny little hook, it would not be good on my hands. So I really like the shape of the Purl's crochet hooks. That's all I've been working on. I do hope to wrap up the crochet top in the next couple of weeks and my Alvar. That's what I'm hoping for. And then I would like to cast on a mini mock neck tank by Jessie Made using this Fuzzy Peach Fibers yarn that I got from her Joshua Tree collection. I would like to cast that on, but we will see. We will see. Let's talk about some art, shall we? If you've been around here for any amount of time, you probably already know this, but my son, Benjamin, is an amputee. He has a prosthetic foot, but it's like a foot. He has no left foot, but the prosthetic foot has a leg portion to keep the foot on. So he has a leg, but he doesn't have a foot. So we call it his leg though, just because it looks like a leg. But anyways, needless to say, he's an amputee. Every year and a half, he ends up needing to get a new prosthesis. And on that, he can pick like designs for it, and we do that by picking out fabrics. And what they do is they create this like, they sew up this like little tube that goes onto the like hard plastic leg, and then they coat it in like a resin, and it's like this really cool hard leg. Every year we have the first year I selected a Star Wars fabric, and since then he has continued the tradition and he has picked a Star Wars fabric. Every year he rotates good guy, bad guy. Every year it's kind of cute. But this year he wanted a bit of an obscure character from Star Wars. It's from a video game. I don't remember the name of the video game, but the character's name is Cal Kestis, and he has a droid called BD-1. So I drew several of these little characters. I drew BD-1, and then I drew Cal Kestis, and the little droid like sits up on his shoulder. It's really cute. And then like I drew the lightsaber and the ship and all these different things, all these elements for a fabric. I created a pattern with it. Did take me a while to figure out the repeating pattern thing. It was definitely a new skill. Did take a while, but I got it figured out. And I've ordered the fabric. It's not quite as crisp as I would have liked it, if I'm being completely honest, but it still looks good. Here it is. Oh, I'm so excited for this to go on his next leg. It's got, like, just, it looks so fabulous. He's very excited about this. Oh, I'm really excited about it. I think it's like really cool to like have a hand in creating it for him. Like, of course, the prosthetists do all the hard work, but to be able to like contribute a little bit is pretty cool. I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited that he's happy about it. And I do feel like I've opened a bit of a can here, and we'll probably have him requesting all sorts of things going forward. And I'm kind of excited about that. I kind of hope he will continue to ask me to design stuff. Usually I go out and I search all over the place and we find something that he ends up loving. But this time we couldn't find it because he's an obscure character and nobody knows who he is. But he is a really cool Star Wars character, and his storyline, like in this game, is actually really interesting. I'm not a video game person, my husband is, but I did enjoy watching his character and his story. I do have some non-nerdy art things to show you though. This first one is big. It is a very minimal style canvas painting using acrylic. Move it up close here. This is for my daughter's bedroom. As I was redoing her room, I was like, do you want this same artwork that you have in here back up? Unicorns, all the super girly things. And she's like, no. She's going to be 10 this year. Her goal in life is to be a cool teenager, so the unicorns are over. She no longer likes pink and purple. Her favorite color is now black. She's growing up. So anyways, she's asked for landscapes and more mature art. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not mad about it. I like creating this type of art. So I also have this painting, which is already framed. So I'll have to turn it so you can see it without a glare. But yeah, it's just like a morning mist, minimal acrylic painting on canvas. I think it turned out pretty nice. And now I have some watercolors. I have this one. It's a nice little moody watercolory landscape. A moody cottage window that is broken and has vines coming in. And this moody sheep. All these moody paintings happen to be a part of a collection that will be going live tomorrow, June 28th, 2024. Like how beautiful and seamless that was. Oh, it's so tacky, I'm sorry. But I'm having a restock tomorrow. I have stitch markers to show you. So if you can't tell, we're easing out of the knitting and art content into business and selling content. So if it's not your thing, thanks for watching. It was really great to have you here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe for future videos. Okay, anyways, if you like seeing the things that I make for my business, stick around. Let's show you all the things. Okay, This collection is the Moody Cottagecore collection. It will have a print pre-order, a bookmark pre-order, and then it will have stitch markers, little notion tims, which I did not grab, but they will be a part of it. And this collection is also going to have 3 other makers who are participating. Now these are items that will not be on my website, they will be on their websites. First, we have Golden Hour Knitwear, Camry, who is creating a beautiful colorway along with not just in yarn, but in fiber form, which is awesome. And then we also have Craft Me Not Yarn Co., who is also dyeing fiber and yarn. These ladies have created some gorgeous things. And last, but definitely not least, we have Pennington Design, who has created a mug. And of course, because Pennington Design is my sister and I live close to her, I was able to snag one of these to actually show you in person. Ta-da! We have this really unique shape, which kind of reminds me a little bit of like the big wood like candlestick holders or like a banister in an old cottage. And like the color is really great. But on it, there are these mushrooms and a daisy and a daisy bloom and then these vines. Oh my goodness, it is fabulous. Look at the foot on it. Look at how nice that looks. And then the inside is that same brownish, goldish. It is coming up a little bit warmer on screen than it is in person, but it almost looks like this like burnished like copper. Look at the back of it. It's so good. My sister will have some of these available on her website. Know that her stock will be very limited because she hand builds all these. So if you want one of these mugs, make sure you definitely get over there because yeah, very limited. Also, Craft Me Not Yarn Co. will also have some ceramics in her website on Friday, which is really cool. They're not following the theme necessarily, but they're really cool. Now I've shared what everybody else is doing, let me show you what I've got. We have a bookshelf with flower. That cottage window has a marker. Little duck and duck butt, isn't it so cute? Chamomile. Sheep. There is that sheep, oh my goodness, in mini painting form. Isn't he so cute? There's a Highland cow. I love Highland cows. We have some in our neighborhood and I just absolutely adore them. They're so cute. Mushrooms, because it wouldn't be a Moody collection without some mushrooms. Because they're my favorite flower, sunflowers had to also be included in the collection. Blackberries, oh my goodness. Look at the blackberries. They're so tiny. And we have little chickens with daisies. I love it so much. Chickens are the best. In case you don't know anything about those like types of markers that I make, they are all hand painted. Each one is an individual original painting, like they're copies of each other, but it is like painted, every single one by me. So what I do is I pour a layer of resin, I do a painting, and then I pour a layer of clear resin over the top to protect the painting. And for this collection, I'm not doing sets with like the main marker and accent markers together. That way, if people want more of like the main markers, they don't need to collect a whole bunch of accent markers, or if maybe somebody wants just a main marker and lots of accent markers, I'm doing them separately. That way you can pick and choose as well, like your colors, like maybe you like the color of one of the accents like to this one, but like the main to another one. You can kind of mix and match. So I will have little sets of 3 accent markers like this. There are several options. I'm not going to show you all of them here. You can go check them out on the website when it goes live tomorrow. And then I will have like a mega set of accent markers that has 8 accent markers in it with almost all of the colors that I have from all the different sets. I also will have a few needle stoppers. Not a ton of these, but I will have some of these available. I'll have a set of 3 that has like a printed one with daisies on it and 2 other accents, and then this set which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sets of like flat roundish ones, like abacus shapes, I think is what they're called. These are actually my favorite shapes because when you set them down on like the round ones, they don't roll away. So it's really nice to have like the flat side on them, so when you set them down somewhere, they don't disappear immediately. So yeah, the collection will be going live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I do have a newsletter that goes out that will have a discount code. If you're interested, you can subscribe. You will have to do that before, you know, the afternoon tomorrow, because that's when the email usually goes out. It goes out in the afternoonish. But yeah, super exciting. I will probably have the website open through the end of the weekend. So if you are watching this before that Sunday, which would be the 30th, yeah, the 30th, you should be able to order. I don't know. I can never tell if things are going to go quickly or if they're going to sit. I don't know. It's so hard for me to gauge these types of restocks. I mean, if things don't sell, I can bring them with me to Flock. But like, then sometimes things sell out right away and I have people being disappointed. But I can't ever tell, because lots of people will comment and say, oh, that's so pretty. But just because somebody says it's pretty doesn't mean they're going to buy. So I can never tell quantities and what I should make. So I don't know. If there's something you really want, jump on there right away. But it may be on there all weekend. I don't know. I can't tell you. I cannot predict the future. Whew. Anyhow, that was a lot. That was a lot. I feel like it was a lot. I feel like it was also just very chatty. Life, though, not a lot going on in life. We're going on a trip in a couple of weeks. I have been really enjoying the Wheel of Time series. I just finished up book 6 and we'll be starting book 7. I want to start that probably on our trip. I'm currently listening to a couple of other books right now. We've been watching The Office again. It's a crowd favorite around here. In poopy news, my car, I took it in for an oil change and got a phone call saying they found some unsafe things. So it's going to cost me a small fortune to fix. So that's fun. The garden is doing amazing. So many beautiful things in the garden. I am struggling a bit with the pests this year. It's like whenever the weather, it's been wet, so things are thriving, but then when it gets hot, all the insects and things just go whop right to them, and I'm trying to keep ahead of it with my neem oil. We're trying to stay ahead so I can get some good produce this year, but we will see. As of right now, the garden is flourishing. I'm getting lots and lots of peas and snow peas. I collected bok choy and froze some bok choy. That was great. That's life right now. If you've made it all the way to the end, well, thank you for watching. Yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I could ramble on forever, and I think that's because I've just been stuck at home working on my kids' rooms forever. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous rest of your day, and we will see you in my next video. Bye.